In this video tutorial, we'll be discussing about the international training and development. In order to compete successfully in global market, more firms are focusing on the role of human resource as a critical part of their core competence and a source of competitive advantage. That is, the human resource refers to the accumulated stocks of knowledge, skills, and abilities that the individual possesses, which the firm has built up over time into an identifiable expertise. The training and development activities are a part of the way in which the multinational builds its stock of human resource, that is, its human capital. An indication of the importance of this is the increasing number of multinationals that have established their own schools. So we see that the training aims to improve employees' current work skills and behavior, whereas development aims to increase the abilities in relation to some future positions or job. The role of training in preparing and supporting personnels on international assignment is very important. Therefore, this topic of discussion has come into picture. Now we can see that the international assignment in itself is an important training and development too, because once an international assignment is given, that means it's given for some further progress. The reasons being, which is seen over here, are the expatriates acts as a trainer, that is, as a part of the transfer of knowledge and competence between various units. That is a major rationale for the use of international assignment. Also, the expatriates are also expected to ensure that the system and the processes are adopted, and inevitably they will be engaged in showing how these systems and process works, as well as monitoring the effective performance of the host country nationals. Now, one of the reasons for international assignment is the management development purpose. That is, a move into another area, that is job rotation, is a useful way for employees to gain a broader perspective. Thus, it helps or assists in developing capable people who form the required pool of global operators. So, these are some of the reasons for being international assignment as in itself an important training and a development. Next, we'll see the international training and development model, where we have picturized, that is, the recruitment and selections, training, development, and an international team is finally formed. Now, before the recruitment and selection and the training, there is a pre-departure training. That is, before the employee goes to another country or a culture, pre-departure trainings are given, which we will see in details. And then they are given the international assignment. That is, before giving an international assignment, pre-departure training is given. So it is a schematic representation of the structure. It shows the link between the recruitment selection, and then the training and development, and finally the internationally competent team. So next we will be seeing the role of expatriates training. Now, once an employee has been selected for an expatriate's positions, pre-departure training is considered to be the next critical step. The reason being, or the objective being, to ensure expatriates' effectiveness and success in abroad. That is, the orientations and training that expatriates and their families receive before departure have a major impact on the success in the overseas assignment. Okay, that is, can be seen, that is, in pre-departure training is indicated as a subset of general training. Effective cultural training is advocated assist individuals to adjust more rapidly to the new culture. The limited predominantly US-based research into this area reveals that a large number of US nationals have been reluctant to provide even a basic level of pre pre-departure training, though this is slowly changing. Now, many appear to be more positive about the provisions of training over the last few years, possibly in part due to the growth in number of providers of pre-departure training that multinationals can now access. Now, so this is the pre-departure training aspects. So, three areas affect the cross-cultural adjustment process. That is the work adjustment, the interactions adjustment, and the general adjustment. So, permeating all of those areas is the need for training in foreign language and culture familiarizations. Now, previously it was seen that multinational firms placed less importance or less priority on providing pre-departure training for the spouse and the family. However, perhaps due to increasing recognitions of the interactions between expatriates' performance and family adjustment, more multinationals are now extending their pre-departure training programs to include spouse or partner and the children. Next, we'll see the components of effective pre-departure training. The first being the cultural awareness programs. That is, it is generally accepted that to be effective, the expatriates employee must adapt to and not feel isolated from the host country. That is, a well-designed cultural awareness training programs can be extremely beneficial in this respect, as it seeks to foster an appreciation of the host country's culture so that the expatriates can behave accordingly, or at least develop an appropriate coping patterns. Therefore, cultural awareness training remains the most common form of pre-departure training. The components of cultural awareness programs varies according to the country of assignment, of course, the durations, the purpose of transfer, and the provider of such programs. Doug, a researcher, identified 5 categories of pre-departure training, that is based on different learning processes, type of job, country of assignment, and the timetable. So these are the area studies programs that include environmental briefing and cultural orientations, cultural assimilators, language training, sensitivity training, and field experience. Now, to understand possible variations in expatriates training, Tuck proposed a contingency framework for deciding the nature and the level of rigor of training. Essentially, Tug argued that if the expected interactions between the individuals and the members of the host cultures are, and the degree of dissimilarity between the individual's native culture and the host culture was low, then training should focus on task and job related issues rather than the culture related issues. If there was a high level of expected interactions with host nationals and a large dissimilarity between the cultures, then training should focus on cross-cultural skill development as well as on the new task. That is, the level of rigor for such training should be moderate to high. So this is about the cultural awareness programs. Also, he stated that there has to be some changes, like the training should be more oriented to long or lifelong learning than one shot program with a area specific focus. There should be more emphasis on provisions of foreign language training, particularly if the language differs, and the cross cultural training assists in managing diversity, and there should be emphasis on the levels of communication competence, not just verbal competence. So this is all about the cultural awareness program. The next comes the preliminary visits.